Hey there, grumpy old fart here. I'm doing a Recon the role-playing game story. I'm calling this one the Bodyguard job. My good friend Maurice called me the other day. We hadn't talked in years. It was awesome. Apparently got my number from my sister, which was awesome. We were reminiscing about our days playing in Vern's Recon game. Vern was a guy I'd met in North Carolina. He ran his Recon game for about 3 months before his job made him move to New York. Vern was a good mission director, knew the game well. He was a good guy. We had 4 players. I was the point man heavy weapons guy. Maurice was a sniper demolitions guy. John was a grenadier medic. And Chuck was a point man medic. We were running mercenaries in the mid-70s, and we were having a lot of fun in his game. We had taken a job as bodyguards for a businessman and his family. The man's name was Gentry, and his business was a manufacturing company that made components for American fighter jets. His R&D division had made some sort of a breakthrough, and I don't really recall what it was. But his competitor wanted Gentry dead. He wanted the information, and he wanted Gentry dead. Now, Gentry took his 2 kids and his wife on vacation. He had a boy who was 12 and a girl, I think she was 15, as I recall. They went on vacation to England, where he was going to meet with a business associate. They were gonna do some sort of a business transaction to make a lot of money. He had the plans and the specs in a briefcase with him. The 4 of us were to accompany him as their bodyguards. We flew on his private jet, refueled in Iceland, and landed at London Heathrow. I'm not real sure why we refueled in Iceland. All I knew is we were there to guard him, so I didn't question. And the others stood guard while I got us a taxi to the hotel. Because we flew on his private jet, we had all of our gear. I had my .45 submachine gun and my .45 ACP, along with my jackhammer, a fully automatic 12 gauge with alternate ammunition, fragmentation grenades, flares, that kind of thing. When we got to the hotel, Maurice noticed a black car following us. The 2 occupants they watched us intensely as they passed by, and then they took the corner and went out of view. So we were on alert at that point. We took their bags inside and immediately changed rooms to another suite under a different name. Chuck suggested that we each take 1 client to protect, and we drew randomly. I got the 12-year-old boy. Maurice got the wife. Chuck got the man, and John got the girl. They were all getting settled in while we prepped our gear. We were in the main area there. And that night, they all took rooms, and the 4 of us stayed in the common area. We took turns sleeping, and nobody noticed anything weird or out of order going on, out of place that night. Next morning, the man wanted to go out on the balcony and do his morning exercises. Apparently, that was his routine. I argued against it, but Chuck gave it the okay. He and John stepped out there with him to keep him safe. Maurice and I were watching the front door, and we were keeping an eye on the other people. And then, of course, the balcony exploded. We were shocked. We went to the hole where the balcony used to be and saw the 3 dead bodies laying in the street below. Maurice spotted the culprits. There were 3 men in a window across the street. They had a rocket launcher. We turned and ran as they launched their second round, and most of the wall disappeared. I grabbed the kids, Maurice grabbed the wife and briefcase. We exited the door into the hallway. I saw 6 men coming out of the elevator. They were all dressed in leisure attire, but they all had AK-47s. So I pushed the rest of them back inside, and I opened up on them with my submachine gun. I took out 3, and the rest dove for cover. As I reloaded, Maurice threw a hand grenade down the hallway, which killed the rest of them. We headed for the stairs. Excuse me. And got 2 floors down before we heard multiple footsteps from below and above. Whoever wanted this information, they were willing to shell out big money for mercenaries to do it. We exited the stairs and started for the elevator. Unfortunately, there was a group of them coming out of the elevator doors as they opened. We ducked into a room. Maurice was getting ready to have a firefight with them. But we ducked into this room and we saw a man changing clothing. We went straight through his room to the window. There was a window washer's platform on the floor below. I lowered the kids and Maurice, and then the wife, and then I followed. Maurice and I lowered the platform down to the 3rd floor and climbed into an open window. We ran for the stairs, and we made it to the lobby. Everybody was intact at this point. The lobby was packed with people fleeing the gunfire and with police trying to get in. And there were some odd-looking workmen with heavy overcoats and toolboxes. The workmen saw us and whipped out submachine guns. They started spraying the crowd to get to us. Luckily, the police were on our side and the workmen were easily dispatched. We took them down pretty quickly. The wife produced ambassador's credentials and they left us alone to go upstairs after the mercenaries. We went outside and I forced a driver out of his van. He complained as we all piled in and I told him to tell the police that we stole his van and were heading for the American embassy. That kind of got his attention. And I said, we're not the bad guys here. We just need a ride. So tell the police are in that building. Don't go in because there's gunfire. But the police are in that building. Find one and explain to them that we stole your van and we're heading to the American embassy. And then we had to dodge a few rockets because those guys are still up there in the window. And once they spotted us, they were shooting at us. But we made it to the embassy. All this in London, by the way. The wife paid us double for going above and beyond, and then hired us on a long-term contract. That was awesome. Vern ran a really good game. We had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, after this particular game, his job forced him to move back to New York, so that was pretty much it. But we had a hell of a lot of fun in his game. That dude ran a good game. Sometimes being a bodyguard is just as hectic as being a soldier in the field. Hope this finds everybody well. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. Devo Poland, a scientific representative of a pacifist race called the Gandhiri, is sent away as an exchange officer. His objective, to learn the one skill his species never developed, to fight. And he's sent to learn that skill from the one species who does it better than any other in the galaxy, humans. If you like science fiction with an upbeat military tone, check out my novel, Vanguard One.